Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Phoenix Point. I have a plan. I've been having some problems getting people leveled up, and part of the problem, I think, is that I've been very focused on doing it via mission, because that's, in a sort of a broad XCOM-y sense, that's how you do it. You just throw a team together and have them do some of the less difficult stuff that comes up, and they can, bumble through it, get the job done, people level up. In this game, it seems like there's no way to have a sense that a mission's going to be easy, and sometimes you're just going to get ambushed, and using missions to level up low-level people seems like a miserable time. So, they have included a tool for dealing with this, and I sort of forgot about it because I was very dismissive about it when we first encountered it, because, again, in other games of this type that I've played, it wouldn't have mattered very much. But there is, in fact... where is Symes? Here we go. We built one of these already. There is, in fact, a facility that exists just to feed XP to people just sitting in a base. We should probably be using the training facilities to level people up. And in fact, we should probably have more than one training facility here. We should have our new recruits sitting at Symes, I guess. I was thinking about using Storage 1, since Storage 1 is going to be kind of like our main base for this purpose, but I don't think that... where is it? Yeah, okay. It's not easy to remodel for this. It has a bunch of spaces where you can't build stuff, and we're right at the maximum power level, because remember, our actual available power is still... I guess, I don't know for sure. Maybe they fixed the bug, but I didn't see it in the last patch notes. I'm going to assume they haven't fixed it. We only have one space left, and it would probably have to be an energy generator. Yeah, it's just not going to work here. We could demolish a bunch of medical bays and research labs and stuff, but also we're getting value out of the research labs. I think it's fine for it to be Symes. They're close enough together that troops can get from one to the other pretty easily. So let's move some people over. Manticore 2 is right here. Summerall has a couple of soldiers that are just sitting idle. We can ferry them real quickly. So, let's have Manticore 2 drop just a couple of people. It doesn't actually matter who. Just free up 3 slots and grab these guys. Move them over. And what I'd really love to do, if we could, is build another training camp here. So, is anybody... We could fly over there and grab some more materials. How expensive is it? They are 250 materials each. So 250 materials is a couple of trips. Nobody's going to be able to trade us 250 materials in a single trading trip, right? We hit these guys recently. Did I get all 3 of these bases? Yeah, they don't have anything left. They have actually a ton. I would absolutely do those trades. Okay, so we're gonna have you guys go here, and Manticore 2 go here. It's gonna have to do a little bit of logistics stuff here. All right, so Deke and Goliath and the Gooch. Deke and the Gooch is a pretty good morning radio show title. You guys gotta go back over here and pick up those dudes you just let go. Oh, right. Miranda Brooks doesn't like me too much. I wasn't thinking about that. I think we may have done some things to precipitate that relationship being negative. Alright, well that's fine. Fort Methuselah will trade with us, right? Yeah. Elena Vasquez likes me just fine. I do wish that there were a better interface for this. There were a way to pull up an interface that was sorted more by the location than by a big list of your soldiers. Or a button I could press while we're looking at Summerall Memorial. It's just here's all the dudes that are in this base, here's all the people that are in vehicles at this base, and then we could, I don't know. It's not a big problem. Okay, so is anybody not in a vehicle? Do we have anybody sitting around other than those 3? No, okay. Just making sure there weren't any other people who needed to be ferried over. And then the crew of Manticore 2 doesn't really have any pressing business at the moment, so we could go play cleanup on some Pandoran stuff. We have a citadel over here. This lair might have become a citadel by the time we fly to it. I think that's going to be our plan, because we're not trying to accomplish very much in the world right at the moment, right? We're just waiting for researches to fill in. So yeah, let's keep moving. Okay, I will gladly do all of these trades, everyone they will let me do. The fact that there are plus zeros next to these leads me to think that probably there's a way to get production of those resources, right? I just don't know how. Okay, Symes Memorial needs a training facility. And actually, each one of those only draws off 1 power, so we could run another training facility here if we wanted. If we could get the resources together to make such a thing occur. So what I'm saying is, can you guys get the resources together to make such a thing occur? It looks like, in fact, you can.
Construction complete.
Okay, we built a mist repeller. We are out of stuff to manufacture. Well, hold on a second. Let me get some resources for that, and then we'll throw some more stuff in the manufacturing queue as well. Symes, even more training facilities. So 6 XP per hour for each agent that is left at Symes. That's going to get that first level pretty quickly. I don't remember. Can we see... We don't have anybody who's at like 6, but like a person who's at 5. What is the... It's 400 XP to move from 4 to 5. Okay, so that gives us like a good barometer for how long it would take a troop sitting in Symes getting 6 XP per hour to actually level up. And honestly, it's not that bad. Like, troops who would just be sitting around doing nothing anyway, that's a big advantage. That's a thing that I wish I would have realized a little bit earlier. I will say, like, partially stuff like this is an artifact of the way I'm playing the game. If I were just doing this whole thing front to back, like just playing it for myself, I think that's something I probably would have been a little less likely to forget, but an hour a day over a couple of months is always a little rough for strategy games, because you forget about stuff. So much life happens in between the time you find out about a thing and the time it becomes useful sometimes. Well, we don't really have the materials to manufacture any weapons. We could just make more grenades, to be perfectly honest with you. We go through grenades very quickly. But we want to have materials left over for magazines too, and sometimes they're a little on the expensive side. Like, what do magazines cost? Like 8, and... Yeah, maybe I'm actually cool just sitting at... 31. 31's fine. I have arbitrarily decided this is the magic number. Okay, so Manticore 1 needs to do another thing. Well, obviously, the thing I'd be happiest about is if we could trade some food for materials. But you know what? I'll take tech. I'll take tech for materials. That works. Is that the first time that the feelings of a particular haven toward us have been relevant at all? I think it might be. Alright, well, now that we have this stuff, we can go ahead and throw some more grenades in the queue. It's good to have them. So the Chimera grenade is poison. To be perfectly honest with you, if we're using grenades just to kill people, Chimera grenades are probably better for that. They still do 30 blast damage, but putting 40 poison on multiple enemies, like even if it's just 2 enemies, it's going to be quite a lot of damage over the entire duration of the grenade. Then again, it is tempting, apparently to me at least, to think of 40 poison as 100 damage, right? As 40, then 30, then 20, then 10. But realistically, if we're throwing grenades at people, it's because we're trying to kill them pretty soon. So it's not like I'm going to want to throw a grenade at a guy and then wait 4 turns. And poison grenades are not going to destroy cover. You know what? Make me a cannon. I know we probably won't need it. Yeah, it only does 10 damage. Well, it does 10 damage in a 10-round burst. It's so much acid. It just doesn't... I want to believe that it could be a useful thing. I just can't. I just can't believe it. Yeah, alright, I think it actually is grenades. Let's make a couple more fire grenades, actually. that'll give you something to work on for a while. And then we may as well continue looking around for places to trade for materials, because it's really like the only thing we need. Yeah, that'll do. We've received an unconfirmed report of someone dying during a potentially ODI-related recurring nightmare. The individual in question had supposedly reported that with each repetition of the dream, they came closer to the gates of a tomb in a vast dead city under a black sky. It's hard to judge what exactly this means without more evidence. I was really hoping that stuff like this was just going to be like oblique references to Cthulhu, like, you know, just like for people, a fun thing for people, and not like, hey, because this game is really digging in deep on the Cthulhu-related themes and imagery. But I guess in our current climate, that's too much to ask for. Everybody loves to Cthulhu up their story. Alright, let's just go ahead and go to the Citadel. That thing's not going to turn into a Citadel by the time we get to it. Okay, food for materials is awesome. That gives me a very comfortable operating buffer. We may as well keep flying around and just trading for materials, right? Anywhere where we can do food for materials, we should. We might want to be careful on the tech for materials, because, like, obviously we also need tech and also are not producing it, but I wonder if you get to a place with a faction where the faction declares war on you, I wonder if the amount of favor you're able to carry with individual governors would affect whether the individual havens actually declare. Because it would be pretty cool if you could make a couple havens loyal enough to refuse to flip. It's probably a little bit too much work to the politics system there for it to be actually worth doing. Alright, this is definitely going to be harder, because we do not have crypto to effectively carry us through some of the combat. Crypto was really powerful. It's a very, very serious loss. I feel it deep in my heart. You should have some weapons equipped. That's my feeling. Call me a maverick, but I believe our soldiers should use weapons when in combat. So 80 damage, 50 piercing, 140 with 20 shock, or the big bleed. To be perfectly honest, if you're gonna deal melee damage, you probably want the enemy to be shocked by it. And then also you get a grenade. And also probably a med kit. Yeah. And that's... is that it? Maybe more grenade. Maybe also fire grenade? Also fire grenade. Alright. You have a job. We know what your job is. The thing is, also fire grenade. Curtis, Explosive Grandpa Ambrose. You are all set with your stuff. Should Lise have a handgun? Yeah, right? We have plenty of resources to equip a handgun. Also, a shredding shotgun. Also, obviously, a shredding shotgun if you get real close to somebody. No, wait, hold on. Do we need another weapon that costs 2 action points to fire? Because maybe we could just... We kind of have Lise outfitted to do absolutely everything. And she's got, like, the quick pockets thing, so she can swap weapons very efficiently. We could just go with a handgun. Like, the problem that I was trying to solve with the handgun is that we don't have a 1 action point attack. I should probably just stick to that. But it sure would be cool to have a shredding shotgun. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to put this back here, and we're going to give you a pistol. Yeah. Probably not to be used all that often, but an option. Ondus doesn't have full ammo? I'm pretty sure. Fine. I guess if I was about to be sent into battle against some kind of giant alien queen monster, and my commander had not let me fill my gun with bullets, I would also make a noise about it. Be like, hey, listen, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, boss, but don't you think, especially if you want me to survive... Yeah, fair enough. Loading screen tip says Arthron shields are almost impossible to break with conventional firearms. That's just not... They have a different definition of conventional in the text here than they do in the actual mechanics. It's not all that difficult. Also, real easy to break as long as you consider the arm to be part of the shield. Listen, if I do a thing and it causes the shield to fall on the ground, I consider that breaking the shield. Okay, so this is all about just kill the... Wait, is it actually that damaged? Boy, it's really far away, huh? Why would that be the case?
I'm here.
I mean, if it is actually that damaged, I think there's a pretty good chance we kill it on the first turn with just Lys and Ondus, right? Like, why would it just start at 240 health? Hey, new guys. Who wants to blind fire at this thing a little bit? I'm just thinking, like, any damage we could do is XP, right? At least I think so. I guess, you know what, I don't have to guess about how the XP system works. I could probably look it up in the Phoenixopedia. Alright, I'm just gonna, where do we have vision? Is this... Here's a problem. I don't know if this is vision of the right thing. And there's no way for me to check because I can't have the Scylla on screen at the same time as... no, I think that's vision of that thing. In fact, it looks like it's pretty hard to get vision of the Scylla, except that we know one of our units already has it.
What's our move?
Your move is to step over here. Your whole raison d'etre is just to show me where I can shoot at things from. Oh, you have a shot from right there. Well, I mean... I think I'm just gonna double quick shot and get out of here, right? Like, these are relatively dangerous, and this might not be a lot of XP for people, but why not just knock it out super fast? That's a weird... My UI's gone. So that's a little... There we go. Maybe a lot of animation. Oh, you know what? It's probably like expelling mist over there or something. You know how these Pandorans are, just always emitting their gross mists everywhere.
Threat eliminated.
+6 will, sure, I guess. What a weird thing. Okay, so 35 XP for... Sure. Yeah, super weird. I have no idea why. I'm going to try to remember here. It's very, very easy for me to forget things very quickly. I'm going to try to remember once the loading screen is over to look at the Phoenixopedia entry on experience. That was super easy. Everybody loved it. Okay. I'm not in a position to be looking a gift horse in the mouth at this moment. XP are distributed depending on their contribution to the battle. Yeah, so that's... Yeah. And I mean, like, our observations certainly suggested that people who shoot the enemies get more XP. Is there a play for you that is better than just fly up there and wait for that thing to become a citadel? Yeah, I guess we could go exploring. We could potentially find some resources which we could really use. Not allowed to fly to the thing. There we go. It's weird. Okay, so now that we have all these materials again... Oh wait, how dare I leave something on the table? What am I thinking? Now that we have all these materials again, what are we going to do with them? I mean, it wouldn't be terrible for us to just build a couple of vehicles. How much do vehicles cost? Like, what if we just had a scarab or a, well, I guess we can't build armadillos. And what if we just had a scarab at each base? It's not a terrible idea, right? Like, for defensive purposes. Scarabs can mess up quite a few enemies. We can also manufacture more of these guys. I kind of want to hold off on that because I want to save mutagens. I'm going to be honest with you, I do not remember where we put the one that we did build already. Mutog is at Phoenix Storage 1. Well, that doesn't seem like the right place for him. Look at him. Look, he's adorable. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's exactly where he ought to be. Because Phoenix Storage 1 is pretty important. That's where our containment cell is and everything. It doesn't have any defenses right now. We should probably do some more recruiting and just like jam it full of people as well. And then we could like do ferries occasionally between Symes and Phoenix Storage, just that people are getting XP as well. But like having a defense force in place does seem useful, given what happened to Phoenix Point and everything. Excuse me. Have you ever been 20 minutes into a recording when suddenly you got hiccups? Also, I forgot to tell these guys to do anything. Do we want to just do some recruiting then? Like, we have well, we don't quite have enough resources for that. That's a thing we would have to do even more trading for. Well, I guess it's a thing we'll do more trading for then. They'll only do tech. Okay, up here they'll do either... Yep, that's your job. And Tiamat 3 is at a place that has functioning food, no hospital. Really not have a... Hold on, is this the right base? Yeah, Phoenix Logistics B. Why did I have them come back here, of all places? Okay, well, that's a thing we need to fix. All of the bases should have at least a medical bay and a living quarters. Then you guys need to go somewhere else. I may have just had you fly away from the base that I'm about to tell you to go back to. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Hold on. Before we leave here, though, I'm gonna, maybe undo? Let me back all that, and we'll just use those resources to build a thing down here. I assume, when I sent them there, that I thought it was a different base that had different stuff going on. Yeah, we need a living quarters here. Okay, well, that's a little bit of wasted time for them. But again, mostly what we're doing here is just like trying to kill time and maintain until our research, our mission critical research is complete. Well, dangerous scavenging. So, I'm not exactly sure what this warning means. Does it mean that the threat level is higher within mist zones, or does it mean that within a mist zone, missions of extreme threat level are more dangerous than missions of extreme threat level outside of a mist zone, for example? This is a very good team. It would be a real shame to lose them for nothing, but also it'd be really cool to pull stuff. Let's go ahead and try it, and we'll just be ready to pull people back, if it comes to that. And who knows, maybe Pondus will be able to two-shot the entire mission again. What a very silly thing. I assume that that's not a bug that we're gonna be able to reproduce in any way. Sure would be cool if we figured out a way to do that consistently, though. The trick is, see, that when the Scyllas work out, they're very into workout culture, but they do it in an unsustainable way, and they often injure themselves. So you gotta wait until they go way too hard on leg day, and then you gotta show up the day afterward when they're in recovery and they're laid out and they can't even really move. You rough them up then while they can't defend themselves. So the real trick is getting somebody inside of the Citadel to learn the gym schedule. It's tough. You gotta have a guy dress up like a crab, and then he's gotta learn to make the blurbling noises. Unfortunately, Octodad was killed in the plague, so he's not around to teach us anymore. Okay, what do we got? We can see an Arthron from here. He is machine gun and shield. I mean, this is going to be real dangerous no matter how we go about it, right? So, if I have the explosive grandpa move out of the way, it looks like I might be able to make it to that fence in a single move with Lise. Alright, you're gonna go scout for me a little bit. Indeed, more enemies spotted. Okay, also machine gun. Keep in mind, those machine gun guys, not a joke, actually very, very dangerous. Machine gun is for real. But I would much rather fight machine gun shield than machine gun grenade launcher. We see them, they don't necessarily see us, so we just gotta... Nope, still not. I was hoping that he was just blocking the way a little bit. Well, I mean, you can stand in the open, it's not the end of the world. So if we put this one down, it's not necessarily going to alert that one, and they're standing kind of far apart anyway. I'm gonna maybe have Pondus. Oh, Pondus actually has a shot on that one without having to move, which means that we could hit him twice. Although, yeah, I mean, we will have to. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm down with that.
Ready to fire.
Hey, why not kill an enemy on the first turn? I guess this is not guaranteed to hit, because there is a piece of garbage in the circle. Who is right in front of me? Whose body is it? Okay, Babe, you gotta move. I'm so worried that I'm gonna accidentally hit you, because the hitboxes are not always what they ought to be. Okay. There we go. We could just take his shield off. That doesn't really help us. I mean, this shot also has a little bit of empty in it, right? Well, maybe not. Maybe the body parts are laid out in such a way that there's... but it still has the post in it. Yeah, this is as good as anywhere. And we're not going to get a kill. We'd have to hit him in an area where he has no armor at all. So we'd have to hit, like... Oh no, even his legs are armored. Yeah, let's just do it here. Alright, I didn't manage the tiny, tiny mischance. Hooray. Let's see if we can close it up. She obviously is not in a position to do anywhere near as much work, but she does have that guy's back for some reason. Which is pretty great. Might allow us to put a shot into his... Ooh, never mind. This is not a real shot. Is that the other guy? Yeah, that's not this thing, it's that guy. Hold on. Is the tree in the way there? Oh, it's so hard to tell because it always draws the lines on top of occlusions. Yeah, we might have a better shot on that guy. I mean, I would love to take advantage of being able to shoot that guy in, like, the legs, but it's just not. It doesn't look like it's really going to work out. What about this dude? Yeah, we can maybe get his leg. This might be a situation here where it's not even worth using the quick shot. And I really don't have any kind of shot on the other dude, huh? Is it just because of Vanessa? You know what? It might. It might actually be just because of Vanessa, who is of limited utility in this situation. Just to say, hey, Vanessa, go over here and crouch for a second. Nope, that didn't. I could absolutely hit that guy. Hey, Vanessa, go over here and crouch for a second. Actually, I like this position for her a lot because it lets her drop a turret right there. Here we go. That's something. Not ideal. Maybe I need to just, like, step forward a little bit and take the quick shot. I was kind of hoping to get out of this without having to use any will. But I think this might be necessary. We are just not able to get to the angle I would like. The obstructions are a little awkward. Alright, I'm just gonna go for his machine gun, I guess. Alright, we got through to the arm as well. That's a decent start. I'm assuming he is allowed to spit at me still, yeah. Okay, so he'll approach, we'll have it under control.
Acquiring target.
Okay, so there is a room up here. This would actually be a fantastic place to get to if it didn't require me to run all the way around the back side of the building. That's like, I'm guessing that's 6 movement points worth of running. And obviously we have dash. I mean, if it is 6 movement points of running, that's only 2 dashes with the way dash works now. And then we get, not only will we get a significant portion of that will back, but we'll also restore will to our snipers. Might actually be worth doing it. And then he can just take 1 shot from up there. We could have you... We could boom blast and then just try to detonate this dude. I'm a little worried about the trees. The trees are going to complicate this shot quite a bit. But Tiny is pretty tough. And while Tiny is standing in the open, it's, you know, there's like garbage between me and you. You don't actually have a direct shot. I think I'm just going to go for it. It's a little aggressive. But you know what I love is shooting 2 grenades per turn. I think I've probably made that relatively clear by now. So we just want to shoot as close as possible without making it really easy for the shot to wander off into the tree. The key to every one of these battles is just don't ever let the enemy have a real turn. You know, it is a lot like XCOM in that way. Alright, we actually destroyed his machine gun. It also... yeah, his body. Also his whole body. Alright, who else wants to use will points before we go and do a thing? You're not going to spend any of yours. You don't have a way of spending any. Okay. So this seems like the time to commit that move. And I know usually our play is just get Bave as close to stuff as possible, but I think, honestly, his accuracy is fine. It's not like he can't shoot. Okay, so 3 will for everybody. Oh, that's right. I did have Bave move a little bit before doing this. I was like, why can't I shoot? I should have the action points. Never mind. Well, you have a good perch for later, then. You're just done. You're done. You may as well shoot something. What is that? Oh, that's the tech crate. I've never actually seen one from the side before, I'm realizing. We can just fire off some pot shots at that thing, since it doesn't really cost us anything to do that. Can't quite shoot at the Arthron that we know is right there, because for some reason I'm not allowed to lean around the cover. I'm only allowed to lean around tall cover. Short cover cannot be leaned around. That's just physics.
Shot went wide.
It was actually like a pretty good shot. That one was less good. And then, nope. Sorry, trying real hard to select this guy. I should actually, like, you know, click on him. That would help. I don't know if this is going to be helpful at all. Alright, well that's not a terrible place for him to end his turn. I think we should be able to get some bullets on that. And apparently there's just a ton of dudes on this map, because it's really taking a long time between their turns. Also, I'm a little concerned that we're not actually going to end up getting a lot of rewards here, if there are as many enemies as it is suggesting. Okay, Mindfragger way off in the distance. That guy's just going to leave, which is fine. We might actually have to take some cover some of our people on this this coming turn. All right, Babe's in good position to do some work on those dudes. Oh, interesting. Grenade launcher. Grenade launcher is going to be relevant here. You know what I didn't bother to actually check is what the situation looks like with the crates. Like, where are the material crates on this map? Right, he's got an overwatch in that direction, but, like, he's very far away from us. Who knows how deep he set that? We probably shouldn't be able to see this guy. I guess, is that a window? We can see him through this window, through this gap in the wall? Yeesh. Okay. Do you have a clean shot over here? That's pretty narrow. Like, that's very, very close to being occluded by this balcony. I'm just thinking, like, obviously, another boom blast is potentially in the cards here. We do need to be careful not to accidentally detonate Bave. It's always got to be a little bit of a concern. I mean, it's hard for me to not want to do this, especially since it's going to blow up that gas container, which is not useful, but it is fun. I don't think Bave's position would be destroyed by this, right? Because he's here, which is above, like, these tiles. If I shoot this, like, in this area... Yeah, if we could use grenades to take down these two guys, then Bave can take down the one behind the rock. I'm going for it. If things get really desperate, we do have a way of passing another action point over, right?
Good idea.
Alright, so we're just going to hope for nice high accuracy rolls and also a cool explosion.
Let's see now.
It actually opened up the angles we can fire at a little bit, it looks like. Can't fire too deep because of the balcony, but... Alright, so we got a bunch of busted arms and legs. 20 bleed, 30 bleed on a guy who still has 90 health. Okay, we can make some stuff happen here. Let's talk about Bave's turn. Because somebody's got to deal with this guy, and he's actually got really good cover from almost everybody else. Unfortunately, what I did here was a little bit more disruptive to the second floor than I was hoping. Also, I guess technically Bave has a shot on the Mind Fragger. Which is, I mean, yeah, I guess. Alright, dash no longer lets me fire twice, right? So we gotta, gonna plan a little bit differently here. I could dash to... We could dash as far as this. Or even this. And then adrenaline rush. Oh no, I can't. I don't have enough action point. Or we don't have enough will. That's a lot of will. That does complicate things a little bit. Stupid abilities changing in their function. Well, I can move to here. You just walk over to here. And then shoot that guy pretty much point blank with the shredder. But that's not gonna do the job. So that's complicated. That's a complicated issue. This Arthron thinks he knows what's up. We could correct him on that particular count. Unfortunately, God, I wish they were just like a little bit less armored. Yeah, because like shooting him for 230 damage, or 220 damage, and causing 10 points of bleed is just barely going to leave him alive. And we don't have a good enough shot to, be able to hit his gun arm consistently. So I could do this and just figure we'll blow the gun out of his hand, but honestly, like this at this range, the spit is still an issue.
Receiving loud and clear. Acquiring target.
You'd have you... I mean, we have a couple of people who could just, like, take some pot shots, and if they can do even a tiny bit of damage, then Pondus picks this dude up in one and then can relocate for dealing with future enemies. How much will does Pondus have right now?
All set.
9. So not enough to quick aim, vanish. But if I were to kill that guy with the first quick aim, actually it would totally be fine. All these guys are, man, all these guys are a problem. It's a lot of enemies. Can't argue with that. Alright, I think we actually are just trying to hit this guy a single time for any amount of damage. Sorry, any 10 or greater amount of damage. I'm gonna fire twice. And then we have to start thinking about stuff. We also have you available for this, if your shot is even worse. You probably have to run to cover at this point, or you're going to get killed. We could try to run to cover like this in such a way that we have grenades available for those guys, but my inclination is to run backwards to safety. I guess I could have thrown a grenade this way.
Let's try this.
Yeah, if I had moved instead and just left the engineer, the technician, to go for this shot. Interesting that I'm not allowed to lead around the cover, I guess because the space here is full. So you could step out and probably do some decent damage to that guy. We might have to let this one just live. I don't really like that idea. I don't know that we can kill him. I do not think it is a good idea to put Bave on that that particular duty. Okay, how about this? How about we just have the two snipers collaborate on this guy? We do quick aim. Take the soft shot here. It just needs to be any damage. So, you know, center mass. And then quick aim again. And you're in some cover. Was that? I'm going to take the shot. Quick aim, kill this guy, get some of your will back.
We got him.
Then you quick aim, kill the Arthron right in front of you, and that will give you enough will to vanish, and then quick aim again. A non-zero chance we don't get a kill here. Wasn't our shot better before? I don't know. Okay. That would have been real bad. A miss there would have been a real shame. Okay, so we got to figure out an angle on this dude, because it's pretty important that we hit him. And we're still cloaked. So I have him from, yeah, anywhere from, like, next to tiny forward should be a very clean shot. Don't actually have a ton of options there. I'll take it right here, I think. I don't want to move there, because if things go awry... Well... No, actually, we should do this. I was going to say, if things go awry, it could be really bad with that guy trying to shoot at least. But if things go that awry, then we need to have Bave spend a rally the troops so that Lise can move anyway. Gosh, I wish their arms were a little bit less spindly and horrible. Well, if we take his head, we at least put him in a place where he will maybe be panicable. Take his leg, maybe we could stop him from moving into range. They're so accurate. Maybe I just shoot for the arm. And then this will do, if this does even a little bit of damage to him, then next turn she picks him up with a single shot. Yeah. Okay, I hit the arm. So that's awesome. He's gonna bleed to death in 2 turns then. Could not have gone better, it turns out. Alright, so we still got to deal with you because they don't want poison spit, and ideally we got to deal with you, but I don't think we can. So Bave could rally. That would give everybody a little bit of... And what does that even do, really? At this point, it doesn't really give us too much value. We could have Vanessa step out to here. Okay, what rally does is it lets these two move behind cover so this guy doesn't get to shoot him to death. That's actually fairly valuable. Okay. Oh, I should have had you step out of cover first. Because I totally could have done that. Yeah, that's a shame. Do we just move them behind the... I'm going to move you here. Move you here. That'll give us a little bit of cover from those guys as well. You could get repositioned, or we could just take a... I mean, it's better to kill him. Get some will back, at least. That leaves you with 3 action points, which means you could run up and throw a grenade, actually. You have an angle on this guy from here. You also could just try to shoot him. And then you still have, like, you can step out and... what am I thinking? You can't do that. The whole reason we moved people was so that we would not be vulnerable to this guy.
Receiving loud and clear. Acquiring target.
You can just take a blind shot and hope here. Oh, that guy still has his gun. I don't know. I was thinking about a very different situation here. Well, hold on a second. Can Bave drop a grenade down there successfully? Is that a thing that can happen? Why do I have 3 medkits?
Who knows? This might work.
Okay, he will not step out of cover to throw a grenade in the same way that he will step out of cover to fire. Because we have high cover from this wall, so it would be really nice if he was willing to do this in a way that made sense. I think I saw a flash of orange there. Oh, okay, that's interesting. He doesn't really have another option for dealing damage this turn, so I'm willing to do this even if it's pretty unlikely to actually work. Okay, well, I damaged the machine gun a little bit. So I could do this, take 3 shots, and then disappear back behind cover.
Preparing to fire.
What? That's... what? It's not a shot. I'm gonna,
Right there.
don't love this. I'm not gonna be able to get 3 shots off here. Oh, return fire. That looked like it was a lot of connection. You are in bad shape, but not bleeding to death. So yeah, you gotta finish the job. Also, cool explosion. Then you need to get to a position where enemies cannot see you. You will not fare well if attacked. Do I want you to, like, run way inside and just be ready to sabotage that dude? Honestly, if you move to here, I know you won't have enough action points left to throw the grenade. I think Grandpa has to just fall back. Not ready for a real move here. You know, level 1s. It is what it is. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is have Grandpa fall back in this direction, and we'll get ready to deal with the Mind Fragger, because he's actually, like, well-suited to that task. Oh, yeah? Okay. That's good to know about. Kind of can't believe that nobody else was able to see that. Hold on, there's another new one over here. Okay, wow, that's really a huge number of enemies. So the only person who's visible to any of the Arthrons without them having to run a huge distance is maybe Bave. They might have a shot on low cover Bave, but I think he'll probably be okay. He's got a good combination of distance and height. And it really is just an absurd number of them, though. We're going to come out of this with just the material crate that's right next to our starting zone. I'm hopeful, though, that we're at least going to get some decent XP on the Technician, if not both the Technician and the Berserker. I'm trying to do a little bit of math in my head here about the amount of time that we're not seeing units do stuff versus the number of enemy units that we know are still on this map. And I'm not too happy with the results. My estimation is there are even more. There are maybe even more enemies than we thought, which is real bad. Okay, let's start with New Crypto. It's not even necessarily lethal. I mean, like, it's guaranteed not to be lethal. You have to get 2. And a bunch of the enemies are in really good cover. You don't have a clean shot on this thing until we get to, like, to be perfectly honest, until we get to, like, here. Well, obviously I can't do that, because I have to be able to hide. Excuse me, I have to be able to hide from the rest of the enemies. I could run to here, take 2 pistol shots, and still duck back behind a wall, but there's a real danger that if I don't get him in my 2 pistol shots, then I get got. I guess Pondus can maybe clean that up? Maybe. Alternately, Pondus could just kill the Mind Fragger, I suppose. Oh wow, that's pretty nice. That's a good shot. Okay, definitely inclined to have Pondus just kill that Arthron. And so what I would really want to make sure I'm doing is taking cover in a position where Grandpa will be vulnerable to Pondus. So that it's a really very fixable position, or a really very fixable problem. It's hard to know exactly what their movement order will be. It's basically, like, if the Mindfragger moves before the rest of the enemies, then that really changes my where is safe. I'm going to go for this.
Targeting.
Not as good as I would like. I'm going to wait for him to do that, like, the little roar thing he did again. Yeah. Shh. Okay. Well, now you have to run. It's actually probably better that we missed the first shot, because I would have, if I'd hit the first shot, I would have stayed and gone for the second. Okay, let's see here. Shield arm, like shield arm then gun arm, maybe? We have enough points to go for a double. I can't believe it's letting me take that shot, given that I'm not actually behind the cover, but or the corner. But I'm going to take it. I am not going to complain. Let's get
On the mark.
Okay, there we go. Now we have a much cleaner shot at the other arm. Or alternately, I could just do enough damage to him that somebody else could clean him up entirely. Okay, sharpshooters. Hey, Bave.
I need an angle.
Actually, it looks like you have an angle. The thing I'm surprised about is that he can't shoot the guy below him. Yep. It's a real weird effect there. Okay, well, I mean, this is not horrible. Sure wish I had some will. Because honestly, him raining armor-breaking shots down from that distance would be really effective. Okay, you're still stealthed. I can't really get inside.
I'm getting there.
You can just step over to here. I know there's guys with... Man, there's no way to tell what the depth of those overwatches is. But I think we are fine to just do this. Hold on a second. You know what I can do is throw a quick heal on myself.
Count to 10. Breathe.
Okay, there we go. Thanks, arms. Alright, and then step back into cover and just fire at that thing just for the hell of it, because it's fun to get XP. Or maybe fire at some of these other enemies now. They're far enough away that I don't think they have a realistic chance of return fire or anything. And honestly, if we dealt, like, even a single bullet gets through, it means that Pondus can pick them up in one hit later, which is a big deal. Alright, 10 damage, it turns out, is exactly the magic number.
I'm here.
So I don't have enough for double quick aim. Obviously, like, quick aim into the carapace is fine and everything. Is that really what I want to do? It might be. Hold on, let's do other people. What do we want to do with Tiny? We don't really have a play for Tiny yet. If Tiny could get a grenade over here, it would be somewhat transformative to our plan. Ooh, boy, if we had 2 will. Is there another one of those will zones anywhere nearby? There's a little one in this building, but, like, and that's definitely not happening. The only person who could get that would be Tiny. And also it would be suicide. Tiny could run over to here. That would not give us anywhere near the shot. This might be a recover turn for Tiny, actually. Just, like, take a second, refill, get ready to land another boom blast. Because I don't think moving forward makes a lot of sense for us. So, okay, let's do Pondus. Pondus has got to do a thing. Do we want to splat that Mind Fragger? Do I think it can reach... Yes. Yes, I do think that it can do that. Alright, and that gives her a turn to not spend will. I was expecting to get a little bit of will, because I didn't remember that you don't get any for doing that. That's a real shame.
On the move.
This also gives her a moment to reposition so that she can potentially do some good work next turn. I am just going to have you recover. And then you... There's no reason to have an empty hand. You may as well just take a bad shot. Again, like, small amounts of damage do matter. Turns out not to be that small over 2 actions. That's like maybe a single grenade kills him now, or at least does enough damage to him that he's bleeding badly from several body parts, which is also perfectly fine. They're getting close enough that they could start firing soon. Their weapons are very accurate, we know that. They're routinely able to hit us in the head through cover and stuff, so we know they are sharpshooters. Unfortunately, those 2 guys are just far enough apart that I think they're not going to be vulnerable to the same grenade. Okay, then we still have the guy inside, the guy south of this. Okay, there's one we didn't know about. Jesus, that's a lot of enemies. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not certain that we're going to get more materials out of this than we spend. I guess the XP is the real prize. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there. Okay, well, that's a problem that has to get fixed.
I'm listening.
Start with this.
Let's see now.
Maybe. That's also real good, but that definitely cannot be made to happen. So... we could hit rapid clearance here. I'm not 100% certain that we would get the kill. I'm just going to boom blast. This is a real iffy move. Like, a degree or two of wander on this completely ruins the shot. Nope, he did it about as perfectly as you could ask for. So that guy's real low. Alright, hold on a second. Let me consider some things. Among them, your move.
Ready to fire.
Okay, you can just about kill anybody. Or you could actually kill a very small number of people. We could just strip the machine gun. We could move around and... yeah, like there's... we have a lot of options, actually. What about you? What does your shot look like? Okay, you have pretty good odds on a bunch. I'm noticing we don't have a lot of options for that one. Let's see if we can fix that. Hoping to shoot this in such a way that it hits him and also breaks this wall, which I think would be very helpful. Although maybe I should just try to shoot behind so that the damage actually goes to the gun arm. I'm trying to think here. What is... hold on a second. One more thing I want to check. Bave, do you have that dude? I actually totally do. Although you're not... yeah, that's pretty bad, actually. Yeah, shotgun is not an option at this range. I'll tell you what, we'd be doing a lot better if Crypto was here to restore everybody's will constantly. So we have 6 enemies, of whom 5 are definite next turn shooting threats, and this guy is a maybe next turn shooting threat. And we just have to get through that. It's bad. It's real bad. You are not going to be able to do anything. Do you have a med kit? You do not have a med kit because you're over encumbered. Well, honestly, run way back is a viable plan. The mission's not going to be long enough for you to bleed to death, so... and Arthrons only give 2 will back, so getting a kill here doesn't... even if I could get a kill, it wouldn't give me another quick aim. Alright, you gotta go first. Basically, we gotta pick one and work together on it. So that's the furthest one back, the one we least care about. I'll have her just kill this guy. He's gotta go. This will give her some will for next turn. It does mess with everybody else's will, I guess, is a thing that kind of matters, but the enemies spawn with such a huge amount of will and then never spend any that it's... if you're not destroying heads, it seems very, very difficult to panic people. Okay, so Bave can't really shoot you. You know what? Maybe this is the move. Let's try to destroy the wall in front of this other one while damaging this guy. Okay, that was... yeah. That was approximately the thing I wanted.
I need an angle.
So there's a little bit of damage on you. Bave can aim to this side and hopefully just hit the machine gun enough times? Probably not, though. Wow. That's no damage. Alright, so we gotta aim real low. The problem there was all of the shots veered way high, which is a thing that there's not really a good way to control for. You probably actually have to move. But you can quick aim clean that dude up very easily, and then we can figure out another play for you after. So yeah, Lise has to run. Boy. Lise doesn't really have a good place to run to, though. You unfortunately just don't have a way of dealing damage. Like, realistically. I could run over to here. I could run over here to try to, like, baffle them a little bit in terms of, like, targeting and position, and then maybe actually make it to the will zone the next turn after if, There's a non-zero chance this guy just runs over here and shoots the death into me, though. Maybe a better version of that play is, like, here. Or, like, here, actually. Because if I do it here, he just runs down here and kills me. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Sorry, you've spotted an enemy that we didn't see before? Is that real? Oh, right, we knew that guy existed. Well, I don't think that changes anything. I appreciate that he's staying up there, though. Life gets real complicated if he comes forward, too. Alright, the technician has to do something. Something is probably lay down another turret and then run away? Yeah. I have enough action points for that, and we can figure out healing later.
I hope this helps.
Boy, your whole torso. That's tough, man. Do we have any kind of shot with this? No, not really. I think what we probably do with Pondus is, yeah, something like this. Try to fall back to a position where Pondus will be the one who's able to clean this guy up next turn, without too terribly disturbing the shots on the other ones over here. But, like, our next turn is going to be really, really grim. Guess I just run to here so that I'm at least crouching. And then, like, there's a fair amount of occlusion. This is gonna not be good. I probably should have had Bave just recover, honestly. Okay, that guy doesn't want to get down or can't. Either one of those is fine. Okay, turrets, that's fine. Although, it is worth noting, I'm pretty sure we don't know how to build those turrets, and we have a pretty limited number of them. That's alright, at some point we could just hire on another technician. Okay, well, I mean, you're doing something. We could hire on another technician for the purpose of just dismantling their turrets to learn how they work. Okay, so this guy, now that we remember that there's an Overwatch over here, that this does make me a little more nervous. But I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to run over here and hit this, and then I'm going to run back to, like, that position maybe or something. Because I don't know what else you can really do, and people need the willpower really badly. Like, even one extra point of willpower changes Pondus' turn considerably. Give me 1 point of movement. Yeah, that's enough to make it back to there, which is actually really good cover.
Sprinting to position.
I don't know what it is about this position that is so strategically important, but enjoy, everyone. Alright, so now we have
Taking aim.
2 quick shots with you, provided that the first one kills somebody. Which it totally could. Yeah, totally could. I mean, they told me, right? They told me that they were going to be more difficult. But even so, holy crap. Alright, wait, who's the next most pressing threat? Alright, it's definitely that guy. This actually is a turn where I think we're just going to have Bave recover. I guess I don't need to make that decision right now.
I'm listening.
You have Boom Blast. And a clean shot to there, we know, because we did it last turn. Yep. I hate to feel like a one-trick pony, but the thing is, the one trick I know is very good and effective. Also, it really doesn't seem like Overwatch is any good at all in this game. Like, it just doesn't interact with any of the things that anybody does. These guys they've had, like, between 4 and 6 units on Overwatch every turn for the past 4 turns, and not a single Overwatch shot has actually gone off. Okay, we busted... Did we break the gun on this guy? No, the gun is still there. Okay, we didn't get his arm either. You're done. You're done-ish. Like, anybody can clean you up. So, it's, yeah, that guy is by a large margin the most dangerous enemy, so...
Ready to fire.
Don't know that it matters too terribly much what we do here. Just get him for a bunch. And then maybe Bave is, in fact, just killing him, and that's how we're going to get our will back. Bave actually somehow doesn't have a shot. Well, we could probably clean up that guy, which is actually a thing that still needs to happen. Alright, there's no way the dude in the distance is gonna... Yeah, this should be pretty safe to do now.
All I need is a clear shot. Hostile neutralized.
You know, one thing I would really like to see at the end of a mission like this is like a percentage breakdown of who did how much of the damage. Just gonna farm some XP up here real quick. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed with the personal defense weapon. Like, for a thing that only costs a single action point to fire, it's pretty damage efficient. Okay, it's probably not a huge problem for us that that guy remembered how the game works. What do you want to do? So for the first time in a long time, that dude does not have his arm up. What I'd really like to do is just take some pot shots at him for XP. But the cover out here is a little awkward. That works. That lets me get 2 shots off. I don't know what this used to be, but it's been very handy for us tactically here.
Targeting.
And obviously, like, we have zero problem killing this guy as a team, but I just want to try to farm XP.
Shot went wide.
You're telling me, man.
All set. On it.
I guess we're not going to be able to get as clean a shot on that guy anymore. He did move off of the roof. I'm going to have Pondus move down to here in preparation for next turn. Can you get up on the balcony easily? No. You get over here and take 2 shots? Yeah, I'll take that.
Why can't I hit anything?
Well, that was bad luck. It doesn't matter, but it was still bad.
That was a kill.
Alright, and then I don't think it matters too much what we do with everybody else, because that other enemy is not a risk to anyone. Just get the 2 snipers out in different positions and get ready to finish the job. Really? There's still another one. Huh.
Confirming target.
Okay, no, we don't need you to shoot that. Did I miscount or lose track? Alright. This mission has become a real nightmare.
Identifying target.
Okay, problem solved. We are going to devote no further resources to it. Can you find a shot on this other dude? Can't. I don't even really have a good sense for where he is. Okay, here we go. That doesn't quite get me there with quick aim. I have enough will points for a dash and quick aim, but I also don't benefit a ton from a dash and quick aim. Could just run back to take a high position. I mean, I guess.
Be right there.
I don't know what else really makes sense to do here. You take an angle where you'll be able to do a little bit better work against him. You should probably not be in such a vulnerable position, but also it'd be cool if you're in a position where you could maybe shoot that guy. Yeah, maybe like contribute a little bit. Or actually, you know what I might be able to do? Nah, his grandpa's aim is so bad, there's no way he's going to be able to actually hit the dude on the roof. Not without getting right up in front of him. Can't make it inside. This isn't terrible, actually. You know what? I'm going to do this. I think this should be perfectly safe from the back angle and still represents potentially a flank, but probably not. And does anybody else really benefit from... You should run over here and, like...
I'm not leaving myself exposed.
That's okay. I get your desire to feel like an action hero and everything, but think about your ribs, friend. Like, that's a dangerous way to do that. We should probably go ahead and medkit this. Just in case. And I think I'm good. We're just gonna let that guy come forward a little bit more. Ridiculous, though, that it's even possible for a mission to take this many turns. This is too many enemies. They need to find a way of balancing the missions that's a little bit better than, well, this time we made him fight 50. And that guy just disappeared, huh? Alright, maybe we take a different tack. Instead of going up on the roof where you maybe won't even be able to see him, we'll just run you around this side. There's not much point in having anyone else advance, right? Shouldn't that guy over there be dead? I think that the guy who's up on the roof of the thing now should have bled out at the beginning of his turn, right? 100% sure that that's the case.
Ready to engage.
You know what? That's probably not even worth spending the ammo on.
5 by 5.
Let's just have the sharpshooters crack this guy and be done with
All I
it.
need is a clear shot. We got him.
And then I guess get me vision of the dude over here? For some reason you just, like, have a lot more health than all of the other guys of your type. This is your chance to be a hero, Grandpa. No, that was actually pretty close. That was... Not everyone's cut out to be a hero. That's alright. The world needs plenty of other people. He did not Overwatch, but he does have return fire. But he can't return fire a melee attack. Check it out. Grandpa wins the day. Alright, that was real roundabout. We finally did some damage with the Berserker. $112 after all that. I mean, it's not a small amount, but it's smaller than I would like. Boy, I will say, my biggest problem with this design of let's just throw... Was that 10 enemies? Like, to not actually exaggerate it. Like, the problem of throw that many enemies at it as a solution to the problem is we just spent a huge... If you figure this in terms of resources gained per actual human minute we spent on it, that was horrible. Why would we ever do another one of those again? So that's crummy. That is definitely where we gotta stop for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time, Monday, remember, for hopefully a slightly better use of our time. And we'll see you then.